Here is a video on how to make a 3D mask at home. You can make it by hand stitching. This is what I did, hand stitch. I'll show you step by step as much as I can. And the next slide shows you what's going to be in the kit. It's going to have 2 patterns. Not exactly as shown, but something like that. 2 pieces of pattern, thread, 4 pins, elastic. Could be that color, or could be black, or the material kind, like a t-shirt kind of elastic. And first step is you take these 2 pieces together. You see them here. You bring them together, the right side facing each other, the outside of the material facing towards you like this, and just like it shows in the picture here. And first of all, you want to thread your needle, as shown in the picture here. You'll have those in your kit, like I mentioned earlier. And here's the material ready to be sewn. And start off by starting in the center here, like you see the arrow, and along the edge of the pattern you sew all around. Just leave a little gap, because you're going to need that space to turn your material inside out. And this is the stitch I did. They're not very close, and you don't want them too far either. So this is when I finished the stitch all around, except for this opening here. Leave a couple inches opening. And the next slide shows you when you're turning the material inside out. So you go to the gap and you start pulling it out from that end, and here it goes, and it's almost like a ball here. And then here's the material, and it's all folded, pulled inside out. And the gap is right here. You're gonna want to close that now, just like how you see here. So if you have an iron, you can use it. If not, don't worry, you can still sew. So first you want to put the thread through the opening, and then you start sewing around it, just like here what I did. Okay, I hand stitched all around the edges. Now there's no gap, we closed it. So now after you close the gap and you stitched all around, you bring the 2 ends here, you fold it, and you're gonna stitch along here. Same thing with this part, you're gonna bring it over, then stitch on the ends here, just like this one is getting ready to be stitched on the other side. One side is stitched, and then here both sides are stitched. See right there? It's almost like wrapping up a hot dog, kind of. So here you have it. Well, after you've done those folds in the previous slide, you want to bring the corners to this part here, and you gotta like visually see an N. That's how you fold it here, and you want to put a pin through here to keep it in place. Same with the other end. See here, like an imaginary N or Z or backwards N. So you pin it down, and then after you've done that, there's an elastic here that you're going to be using for the next slide. So here you go. This is all sewn down here, right here. This was the end that I showed you earlier. So the elastic is ready to go in this part here. This is just to show you how it's going to be sitting. So this part folds over right here. Right here, I fold it over here, and then you stitch from one end to the other end. And this is when I started to hand stitch right here. And the finished product will look like this. This elastic is not sewn down, it's gonna freely move. So once you're done that stitch, you tie the ends of the elastic together, both sides, both ends. Then that'll be your finished product of the mask. And there it is, voila. So I'll take you back to the first slide, and this is how it will look when you're done. Sounds good, eh? Okay, look, it's all hand stitching. Miigwech.